What's up, everybody? Welcome to the 7th episode of the It's Stuck with Nasty podcast. Appreciate you guys for being here. Again, as always, you are the best. This episode is going to be a little bit different than the other episodes. We're going to start like a 3 or 4 part series, haven't decided yet, on healthier, living practices. The main stuff, obviously, fitness and nutrition and whatnot, but I want to talk about a few things that are super important to our health so that you guys can stay living the longest life so you can play the most video games as possible. Or whatever you like to do, honestly. But as gamers, I know that we tend to let the health and kind of go by the wayside. So if I can give you some tips that'll help you guys out, that's what I'm gonna do. So let's get into it. So first off, the reason this stuff is super important to me is because back in high school and beyond, I was pretty overweight. I know I probably talked about this a little bit in the first episode, but yeah, I was overweight. I was out of shape. Didn't have very good health practices. So over time, actually over probably more than a decade, well, oh my goodness. It's been like 14 years since I've started this journey. Anyways, I was 240 in high school. I got down to like 158 pounds in a summer. So all I was doing was running, and eating salads, and that was it. And I lost a bunch of weight, but then I got to the end of it and I'm like, oh man, I am super flat looking. I don't like the way I look still. I still had fat in deposit, specific areas in which I didn't want them, aka man boobs. They were still there, even after losing all that weight. I looked terrible. So then I had a roommate in college that started taking me to lift, and that's when I started figuring it out. Like I figured out what works best for me and stuck with that. So I went from 158. Of course, it went up and down, but right now I'm sitting about 175 pounds. It's super easy to maintain because I built a solid foundation with lifting and gaining some muscle mass. Because the more muscle mass you have, guys, the more calories your muscle needs to burn. So if you tend to eat, a pretty good amount of food, having more muscle mass on kind of lends you, to burning all those extra calories, so you can get away with cheating a little bit more in the meals. But yeah, so that's really where I started, and but I made, like I was saying, I made a lot of mistakes, along the way. I've tried so many different things. I've tried, low carb diets. I've tried keto diets. I've tried just pretty much any diet that's out there. I've done programs like P90X and all these expensive programs that, people get sold all these times because look what you can do in 90 days. It's like that stuff maybe helped me, but it pushed you so hard that you ended up quitting after 90 days. Anyways, so yeah. But what I'm gonna talk about today isn't any of that stuff. It's actually something you typically don't think about, even though it's probably one of the most important aspects, and that is hydration. Water consumption. It's amazing just how many people I know that refuse to drink water. Well, I drink coffee, I drink beer, I drink soda, I drink juice. Those all have water in them, so I don't need to drink water, which really isn't the case. Because if you're drinking coffee or soda, those things have caffeine in them. Caffeine is a diuretic, which means it removes fluids from your body. So drinking coffee and soda and stuff like that will actually dehydrate you. And that's the last thing we want to do, is be dehydrated, because if we become dehydrated, it's, having a detrimental effect on all of these systems within our body. Like, all of them, okay? Water literally makes up most of our blood. It's like 60% of our body weight or whatever is water, which is crazy, right? So how could not drinking water not be important, guys? Come on. So your blood, I don't know if you know this, but blood is pretty important to your survival, and we need a good volume of blood. If we have a low volume of blood, then our heart has to work harder, and then you have potential damage that you can cause that way. So we got to have a good volume of blood. So stay hydrated. So blood, and then there's other fluids as well, like your cerebral and spinal fluids. Basically your connection from your brain to the rest of your organs and all that stuff. Guys, this is important. We got to make sure that we stay hydrated so that all these things are communicating with one another. Oh yeah, fun fact, water is actually a liquid crystal. So if you've heard of a liquid crystal display, so it's considered a liquid crystal because it can transmit data and energy across itself, basically. So I didn't know that. I read it in a book. Anyways, so yeah, water is a liquid crystal. It transmits data and energy across it, which is awesome. And that's why all of our fluids basically in our body are made from these things, because it's a good vessel for transmitting that data. So, okay, so you got your cerebral, your spinal fluid, you got your blood. It's really important in getting rid of waste in our system as well. So like when we're sweating or perspiring or, you know, going number 1 or number 2, you know, it's all about getting waste out of our body, you know, to remove our body of toxins. And trust me, you'll feel better when that happens. So, you know, if you're using the bathroom a little bit more because drinking a little extra water, so be it. You're making sure you're getting rid of a lot of those toxins and stuff. But here's the thing, if you're not drinking enough water, then your body becomes severely dehydrated. And if it's dehydrated, then what it'll actually do is start recirculating those fluids, because you can't live without these fluids in your body, but you're also going to start recirculating some of these toxins that should have been excreted in the pee. Another fun fact, the signal for thirst is a very weak signal. So when we're actually thirsty, our body will mistake it a lot of times for being hungry. So if you're trying to lose weight or anything like that and you start to feel hungry, drink a glass of water real quick. Drink a glass of water, wait 10 minutes, and see if you're still hungry. Because sometimes that's what your body needs. And your body, when you get these, you know, hunger pangs or whatever, your body's asking you for something, whether it be nutrients, whether it be water or whatever. So try the water first. And then if you're not hungry anymore, then don't eat. But if you're still hungry, then obviously it wasn't thirst, it was hunger. And now go feed yourself. Now, even though this is a super important thing that we need to deal with, there really isn't a very good set amount of water that you need to drink every day. Obviously, I think the old standard was like 8 glasses of water. Some people say 30 to 50 ounces. For me, I drink about 4 32-ounce bottles, so you're talking like, you know, 120, 130 ounces a day, but I'm also a pretty active individual, so I'm sweating a lot of that out, and I run a little hot too, so I tend to sweat a little more, so I need a little extra water. So if you're a little more active, my rule of thumb is like, if you're 200 pounds, cut that in half, 100 ounces of water. You know what I mean? So 200 pounds, cut that in half, so that's 100. Make that 100 ounces. If you weigh 150 pounds, cut that in half, 75 ounces of water. I mean, that's a good spot to start, but really, it's all about the individual and how active you are, how hot you run, or whatever. You know, every body is different. So you gotta find what works for you, but the important part is to make sure that you're getting hydrated. So I'm always walking around with a water bottle, and I highly recommend getting yourself a nice quality water bottle, maybe something that's like a double wall, vacuum insulated, like a Yeti, or what I have is a blender bottle that has the same kind of setup. It keeps any liquid in it, you know, cool for about, I don't know, 6-7 hours. You know, if there's ice in it, maybe longer. It's crazy pants, but I drink everything that is in it within that time frame anyways. But get yourself a quality bottle that you can carry around wherever you're going and just keep refilling with water. Don't use like the plastic store-bought water bottles, you know, that you just throw away or quote unquote recycle into a plastic island somewhere out there in the sea. Don't use that stuff. These plastic bottles are terrible for the environment. We gotta stop doing that. Not only are they terrible for the environment, but it's bad for you too. You're basically drinking plastic tea. So plastic can break down into the water itself, and it photodegrades. So if it's sitting in the light, it'll start to degrade. So you're basically have you ever left a water bottle in your car? Like on a hot sunny day or something, then tasted it, and then it tastes like plastic. You're drinking plastic tea. We gotta stop drinking that water bottle crap. Get yourself a quality bottle and just keep refilling it. If you have like a filter system in the house, in like your fridge or something like that, go for it. Or even better, if you have a natural spring that you can go actually collect your own water into jugs, that is the optimal water you can possibly receive. I have none close to me, you know, so I make do with what we got. But if you have that, good for you. Go check it out. You can make a day of it. And for you techie guys out there, or girls, techie guys or girls, there's apps that do this stuff. So if you have a hard time keeping up with the hydration that you should be getting, you know, to keep yourself hydrated, you got You got apps like Daily Water, you got Hydro Coach, you got Water Drink Reminder. These are all free apps that you can pick up that'll help remind you when you need to drink some water. And for these streamers and broadcasters out there, they even have a bot. I think it's the Stay Hydrated bot. You know, it'll take into account how long you've been streaming, and then it'll say, hey man, you need some water? I think you need some water, dude. Actually, I think it's a little more assertive than that. It's more like, you better drink some water right now. I'm gonna call my brother Paulie, and he's gonna come down there and shut your stream down. That was the worst accent I've got. I'm Italian, I can't even do an Italian accent. Terrible. So yeah, you've got all these apps and things available to you. Definitely take advantage of it. Make it happen. Get yourself a bottle, like I said, and really, that's the gist of it. Like, this is like one of the most simple things you can do, and it is a, you know, massive boost to your health. So start there, guys. Let's start with hydration. Just remember, a human body can go almost 3 weeks, you know, not comfortably, 3 weeks without food. But try doing 3 or 4 days without water. You will die. Like, it is that important. So anyways, so that's hydration for this week, guys. I think next week, or, you know, the holidays are coming up, so I don't know which weeks are gonna go where, but I'm gonna do the other couple parts of the series. I think one's going to be about nutrition, one's going to be about exercise and fitness, and maybe even one about performance for the people that really want to push to the end game. So keep an eye out for those episodes if you are interested in this kind of stuff, and if you're not, you should be. This is important. Now it's time for the LWR. First off, last week our poll was, which were your favorite snackable frozen pizza bites? Was it Totino's Pizza Rolls or Bagel Bites? And Totino's Pizza Rolls just blew the doors off of the Bagel Bites. So I think I preferred the taste of Bagel Bites over Totino's Pizza Rolls, but I think I ate more Totino's Pizza Rolls than Bagel Bites. I don't know, maybe they were cheaper. Yeah, they were definitely cheaper. Sauce-filled cheesy gooiness. So we streamed 4 times. I think it was Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. 2 times were on Mixer, 2 times were on Facebook. Facebook had the standard metrics. I tried to do Mixer on the day that I typically have really high, you know, views or engagements, which is Saturday during the midday, which didn't go crazy well. I mean, there were still a couple of people viewing and couple of people chatting, but nowhere near the reach that Facebook has. But that's just kind of built into the Facebook platform. We are up to 55 followers on Facebook, another new like this week on the page, and we're up to, I think, 5 or 6 followers on Mixer. So most of those are obviously, you know, friends or whatever that are getting over there. So Mixer's going to be a little more difficult to grab followers of people that I know that aren't really into the gaming community, because they literally have to go over there, sign up for a Mixer account, and then follow the page, where on Facebook they're just following it with the account they already have. So it's like a one-click, super easy for them to follow that way. They actually have to do a few clicks in order to follow on Mixer, obviously. So we're gonna keep grinding it out, though. We're not gonna quit on that end. So I did some new art this weekend, or not this weekend, this week. Got a new overlay up. It's got a sweet, like, purpley bluish color, shifty, whatever. Anyways, you know, it's just awesome that I'm being able to do these things that I can think of it in my head, and then I have the skills to make it happen on the computer now. So definitely over time developing the skills with After Effects or Premiere or Photoshop Illustrator, all those things. It's coming to fruition. So we got some new overlay element. We have a be right back screen, and we have a starting soon screen, all with the same general concept, you know, for continuity. What else did we do? Oh yeah, we also did alerts for Mixer. So Facebook doesn't have alerts like the ones that slide in or have, you know, cool looking alerts. I mean, obviously, I think once you get into the level up program, they have some kind of alerting ability, but not currently at my stage at 55 follows. I got to get to 100 in order to see if anything like that makes a difference. But Mixer has the ability to actually do custom ones. So I created some custom GIFs of for tipping and following and hosting of the stream. So anytime someone does that, it has a cool animation that slides in. Whatever. I did that this morning. It didn't take me that long, and honestly, I'm very, very happy with the results. So yeah, so that's what we did last week. So the plan for this week is just more of the same. Just like last week, we're going to try to do 3 or 4 streams, probably a couple on Mixer, a couple on Facebook. I do want to try on Mixer, maybe playing like Dead Cells or something that's not super saturated, like Destiny, you know, just try to do something a little bit different. Plus it's something that's I'm also playing solo, so I don't have to worry about, you know, communication with anybody else, and I can practice more the either talking to myself or paying more attention to chat when they are actually there. So I feel like that's an important skill to develop. But yeah, so I think that's about it. Oh yeah, the poll for this week, guys. The poll for this week, for you readers out there, do you prefer ebooks or physical copies? I know my answer, and I'll tell you next week. But until then, guys, I appreciate you being here. Appreciate you checking out this episode and this first episode of this kind of health and wellness kind of series that I'm planning on doing. Make sure you stop by the broadcast. Definitely follow me on Twitter, Instagram, so that you know when I go live, whether it's Facebook or Mixer, but I will keep you posted. So it's Slick Nasty, all of the social media platforms pretty much now. And I will catch you next Monday, guys. Have a fantastic week. Bye-bye.